Last week, I got a message from a friend of mine, a young guy, just graduated, athletic, healthy, smart. And he wrote to me, he said that, lately I can't help but feel depressed when I look at the world. I turn on the news and it seems that everything is falling apart. Everywhere you look, bad guys are doing horrible things, and if that weren't tragic enough, you look deeper only to discover that the so-called good guys are just as tricky as the bad guys, sometimes even worse. He was feeling discouraged and helpless and obviously depressed about the whole thing. It bothered him because he noticed that he was spending more and more time feeling this way and he didn't know how to get out of it. So I dedicate this message to my friend and to anyone else out there feeling helpless, depressed, and trapped in a world that sometimes it seems the only difference between the good guys and the bad guys is who has a better PR team. There's a way out. We all experience life through paradigms. This is the belief we hold about what our experience of a given situation is supposed to be like. A paradigm for a lot of people is this, if I work hard, I take care of my family, I obey the law, if I give back, then good things are supposed to happen to me. When you discover that that's not always true, your paradigm breaks, and there's your crisis. You discover sometimes that you can do everything right, and bad things can still happen to you. You can follow all the laws in the book and still end up in jail for 30 years for a crime you didn't commit. You can be as faithful as you want to be and still get betrayed. You can pray all day long. You can go to mosque on Friday, synagogue on Saturday, church on Sunday, only to discover that the people responsible for your so-called salvation are a bunch of hypocrites. That's your crisis. So what do? The first thing to do is to recognize that we all have paradigms. The second thing to do is to understand that a healthy paradigm cannot break. Because paradigms are supposed to flow. Healthy paradigms flow. They respond to and adjust to the environment. Paradigms are meant to shift. They're meant to move and adjust. They're not fixed, immovable objects. So if your paradigm can't break, it just means that you haven't understood the whole story. You've only understood one side of the story, and you're married to that side of the story. If it seems that when your environment changes, your perspective can't, it means that your mind can't change. When your perspective can't change, your mind won't change. So the work here is all about changing what you're looking at and deciding not to take sides. And when I say don't pick sides, I don't mean don't participate. I don't mean don't feel bad when the situation calls for it. I mean don't be married to what you believe the outcome is supposed to be. Because if you do that, you're going to miss the entire point. Okay, play this game with me. Play a game with me, and I want you to imagine that you're the size of an atom, really tiny. And today you're going to take this amazing trip to a place called you. This is literally you, inside of you, a microscopic adventure inside of you. Wow, what a thrill, right? You're getting ready and everything is great, it's going well, and you get into this body. You're on this adventure. And soon after you're in this body, you begin to notice certain things. There are a bunch of cells in here, and they're doing a bunch of good things. They're running around taking care of things, and it looks like it's making the body healthy and feel good and things like that. And you say, wow, simply amazing. But then you also notice that there's some other cells here, and they seem to be some bad guys. They're doing some nefarious things over here, and you're concerned that, hey, if I don't take care of this, if somebody doesn't take care of this body is going to get sick. And you look at it closely, and these things are really detrimental to the body, and you think, my God, and you're appalled, and this kind of corruption is going on inside of me, and you're determined that this mustn't continue, this mustn't go on. So you somehow command all these bad cells, hey, get out of here, you're done, I want you out. I'm with the good guys, you guys are bad, go. And so the bad guys they leave, and your trip is over, and you come out of your body, and you look at yourself, and you say, hey, buddy, I did you a favor, I kicked all those bad things out. But then you look closer, you realize that your body doesn't look too good. In fact, it's actually starting to die. Because you went in there, you cleaned out all the bad guys. But what you didn't notice, what you didn't realize is that to have a healthy body, to have life, you need the bad things as much as the good things, because those things offer each other balance. Right? You can't go in picking sides. You want white to win over black. You want good to win over evil. It throws the balance off. You didn't realize that, and now the body begins to die. You see, the good things go hand in hand with the bad things. You don't say to the birds, stop eating the worms because it causes them discomfort. No, you just watch the show. Because if birds stop eating worms, the ecosystem would be thrown off. So then the only game there is to watch the show and not pick sides. Because what looks like a crisis on one level is actually harmony on another level. The question is, what are you looking at? Germs and infection in the body, or a healthy human being? Terrorized worms or a thriving ecosystem? When you can do this, when you can realize this, it relieves you of this great responsibility to have to change something. No, you don't have to change anything. That's not the job. The job is to understand that everything is in harmony with everything else. The good people won't know they're good unless they can point to a bad person. A man doesn't know he's a man until a woman shows up. A light does not understand its nature until a dark source instructs it. This is the basic understanding of what we call yin and yang, this idea of balance. Now, Angelo, you're saying to yourself, this is something kind of spiritual, new age, and kind of woo-woo. New age, whatever you're going to call it, this doesn't matter what it sounds like. You better understand it, because knowing that everything that shows up, every pain, every disappointment, corruption, and defeat is all part of a harmonic balance. This knowledge can change your life. It can redirect your focus. When you know this, it acts like your permission to move on, to let go, to stop spending all your energy managing your pain and disappointment. It's your permission to choose, because that's the only work that really matters. Choosing what you want your experience to be like. Choosing to smile when nobody else smiles back. Choosing to go after your dream when there's no evidence of it. Choosing to be happy when your history doesn't support that reality. Choosing optimism over cynicism. It's much easier to move forward, to choose to be happy, when you can put your environment into context, when you can shift your perspective, when your perspective isn't limited by a broken paradigm. So you must begin to train yourself and reinvent your relationship with negative things that come with life. The joy of life comes from reaching new levels. But as the old saying goes, new levels, new devils. And if you can't accept that these devils exist, and they're a normal part of whatever level you're on, then you'll strangle yourself. You'll never grow. To have life, there must be joy. To have joy, there must be its opposite. Otherwise, you would never know you were here. Balance is what brings joy. The good with the bad. The nasty with the nice. There's really nothing interesting observing the world and noting and concluding that, hey, it's rotten. The only really interesting thing is what you're going to do next. What you want more. What you want out of life. What's your next step? How are you going to get that? You look at the world and you say, there's no love in this world. Then your next step is to become more loving. That's your experience. You decide what you want to experience. It's always you. We often discover that our greatest power is hidden deep within the things we resist. If it's a disappointing world you resist, then I say this, throw yourself into it and discover you. Gandhi got it right when he talked about this, when he said this, be the change in the world you wish to see. It's always you. It's always you. You get to decide what your experience is. Balance and you. My name is Angelo, and I'm the Motivator.